Okay, guys, I'm gonna make a quick logo here. I'm just gonna call it something select, like maybe like technology select. We'll call the company or something like that. So what I'm gonna start with is I'm just gonna type in select. I'm actually gonna make. So you can either caps lock it. I'll show you another fun thing to do sometimes when you're messing with type and just kind of keeps your selection. You can go up here to character. You can click the two T's and that'll make it all caps. Oops. So yeah, I want my font to be all caps. I don't want to use Myriad. I want something bold on this one, but I'm going to go with like, you can also just scroll down and go through some of the fonts that you've got there. But I'm going to try like Lato. Let's see what that looks like. Lato Black, something clear and basic. And I like some of those curves. Another one that I like to use is Hind. One thing that I do as a designer too is a lot of the times my customers want to use their fonts from their logo in their website. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just do like best Google web fonts or Google fonts. Open Sans, Josephine, Arvo, Volkhorn. So let's look at it. This is a link from awards.com, a reputable site. So let's just go through here. Here's an example of what some of these look like. Open Sans, Josephine, Arvo. There's Lato that we were using earlier. Ubuntu. So let's just go ahead and, for simplicity's sake, let's go back to Lato. It's a very popular web font. So Lato Black. Now, what I want to do, I got two E's in this, so I'm trying to do something fun with the E's. So I'm actually going to call this search. Maybe it's a search company or some sort. I'm going to erase the E. Give myself a little bit of space. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and keep the shape here. I'm going to use my, take my E. And select the E and then use my eyedropper. That'll get me the same size that I was using there before. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go Object, Type, Create Outlines. So what I've done is I've changed it from a text to an outline. Now I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to take this, go ahead and make it white. And all I'm doing is I need to get rid of that stuff. So now, oh, that's not quite there. Or even better yet, let's just go ahead and draw our own little square. And that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to match it up with the E. Hold down Shift so you keep everything aligned. There. So now I don't need this anymore. I've got my boxes. So with this search, what I actually want to do is I'm going to make these kind of look like dials. So I'm going to make that a little bit longer. Oops. I'm going to send that to the back. Make sure we line these up properly. Now I can select, use the object group. I'm going to use my selection tool. Now if I can pull on these nodes here, I can create a little bit of a curve there. I'm also going to do this to this. So type, create outlines. It's not going to do too much, but maybe a little something. All right, so now with this, I'm going to go Object, Ungroup. I did Control C, Control F. Basically duplicated it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm creating myself a little dial here. Maybe I make this blue. And then I'm going to just shrink it a tad, holding Shift. So now I want to curve these to match that a little bit more. So again, I'm going to come back in here and a bit. There we go, that looks nice. So zoom out. Good looking logo. What's cool about this is now I want to take all the black, object group, maybe turn that into a charcoal. Arrange, make sure all the black is in the back. Now these don't even have to be the same color now. You can mix and match them. Group all these together now, scale it down. Search Metrix. Now I'm going to keep the same Lato font, but then I'm going to drop it down and make it light. Maybe even a lighter gray. Let's drop our font down even below that, maybe like a 36. Search Metrix. I'm going to go character. Now my letter spacing here, I'm going to do something like 1,000. See what this looks like. That looks good. Type, create outlines. Line it up here with the edge of the H. Now you've got a nice little logo there. Sometimes you can play around and do different things with your font, like make this. Oops. Object ungroup again. And now our black should be cool. So let's make that light. Now you kind of got a cool little, make your dials pop out a little bit more. You can take this, place it in place, and then just hold shift to move it over. What I'm going to do is, this is kind of a fun little thing that I like to do sometimes, is take this, place it, change the color up so you can see the difference. And what I'm going to do is just create a little tap down twice, tap over twice. Sometimes so you go minus the front and it just leaves that one there. So now what you got to do is go object ungroup everything, just select object ungroup. Now I've just got the S, so I can go minus front. That's good. Grab all these. Actually, I think I have to do one at a time. Yep, minus front. Minus front. So we're just knocking out the green and leaving the gray. I'll show you what we're going to do with it. Now there's a couple little pieces in here you want to get rid of, such as that. Don't want that in there. See if there's any other little scragglers. No, that looks good. So I'm going to grab this object group. I'm going to go in here and make it a darker gray. So now we've got this where we can pull it over, line it up. And what I like to do is I'll come in here and make the transparency like 40. Click this gradient box and go to your transparencies and use multiply. Now you've got a little indented text. In your search matrix. So what I'll do is I'll take that and I'll object group, center and center. All right, make sure we're all lined up there. Now, that's good enough for a logo. That's great. We're ready to send that to a client. It's in vector. Let me show you a few more things that you want to do here. So one thing is you've got this whole color palette and all these swatches, okay? So what I recommend you do is just click on the white, hold down shift, and click all the way down here and just delete all these. So now you get rid of all your colors, okay? Ungroup everything. Now we're going to set up our own color palette for this client. So let's just say we want this maroon. Another thing that could be helpful for you with your color palettes is when you come down here to these libraries, I forgot how I did this before. Oh, there we go, color books. So if you go into color books and you go into CMYK coded, this will give you CMYK color codes. This is good for printers. So if you want to be using color combinations, this is a good way to go. So for example, with this one, we might want to come up and find something like a cranberry there, right? So now what we do is we right click on this, excuse me, double click on it, and it's going to come up here. It says process color. So what I'm going to say is client magenta. We're going to change it to spot color, CMYK. Okay. So now you see up here it's got a little white dot and a white dot. That's your spot color. So this one now, let's go find ourselves a blue. And what's cool about this is this actually helps you get some unique colors coming in as well that maybe you wouldn't have done before. Get that more on the teal side, but maybe something like that. So now this one we'll double click. Client cyan, color. Save that one up. Let's get this green going. So we'll go down here and find our green tones. We're in that greenish yellow, but not too much. Something there. Yeah, that looks nice. So click that one. Spot color, client green. Okay. Do this for our gray as well. Too dark, too light, just right. Okay, so we'll take this one, double click, client gray, light. These ones we're going to go ahead and delete. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. There we go. Okay, then we need to go here and select the dark. So then now what we'll do, oh, I didn't change that, see? Spot color. There we go. Now what we can do is we select this and we just do the drop down and make sure it's our client gray, dark. All right, so now we've got our spot color saved. The other thing that sometimes I'll do for clients as well is create, create some sort of marketing collateral type of idea for them. So let's just say it was a footer of some sort that they wanted to use. So maybe we give them a long, skinny shape like this. Maybe we'll come in here, ungroup everything. That looks bad. Oh, but maybe we give them something like that for just their icon. That could be their favicon up in the search bar. Let's give them something that looks like this. Transform it, reflect, kind of give them the opposite effect there. So that could be something that they may like as collateral as well. But in this instance, we're just going to stick with the logo. Another thing that I noticed here, let's go back to where we get everything selected. Okay, so we changed this to the spot color. Okay, cool, we're working now. Before I noticed that it had become solid, not transparent. Now you want to zoom in as well. See, we got some alignment issues here that we just want to clean up. Just make sure we get on there exact. Perfect. So, and then notice these need to be below the shadow. Much better effect there. Look at that. That's good looking. There we go. So you just want to make sure everything gets lined up, and your smart grid should help get snapped into place usually. So that looks nice. Go ahead and zoom out. Delete this artboard. Then we'll save as. All right, and that's that. There's a Search Metrix logo.